Every empire swears its money is unbreakable. Every government promises its paper currency will last forever. And every single time, without exception, history proves them dead wrong. From ancient Rome to revolutionary France, from the Confederacy to modern Lebanon, millions have woken up to ruined savings, their hard-earned savings wiped out, their daily salaries rendered meaningless, and their futures stolen by broken paper systems. Systemic monetary collapse is not a rare historical anomaly. Monetary collapse is the historic rule. The real question isn't whether financial systems fail. It is how you insulate your wealth when they do. Welcome back to the FinRadius USA, where we decode macroeconomic history, power dynamics, and sovereign capital strategy. If you are ready to stop trusting paper promises and start holding undebasable real value, subscribe right now and hit the bell. The illusion of paper permanence is the single most dangerous financial mistake an investor can make. We look at bank account digits and paper bills, assuming they represent bedrock security. But money is not bedrock. Money is pure psychological trust, and trust can evaporate in 48 hours. That is why history is so brutal and so immensely useful for the sovereign allocator. Every collapse leaves behind patterns, warnings, and clear proof of what survives versus what turns to dust. The survivors of these historic disasters weren't those who trusted the system most. They were those who doubted first. Take the Byzantine Empire, which survived for over 1,000 years after Western Rome collapsed. At the heart of its trade economy was the gold solidus, accepted across continents without question for centuries. It was the medieval world's global reserve currency, backed by absolute physical purity. You would think Byzantine emperors learned from Rome's earlier destruction of the silver denarius. But centuries later, Byzantine rulers made the exact same fatal mistake in gold. They shaved the gold purity, diluted the coins, and stretched the treasury thinner to pay state debts. At first, the populace didn't notice. Then market trust cracked completely. The coin that anchored Mediterranean trade became political fiction, destroying imperial credibility. What survived? Not government decrees, but merchants who had quietly hoarded real physical gold and undebasable land. That is the first timeless lesson from the FinRadius USA archives. Governments cannot resist diluting paper money. And when they do, real value flees instantly to physical assets that central authorities cannot counterfeit. But not every collapse comes from rulers debasing currency. Sometimes shocks strike out of nowhere. In the mid-14th century, the Black Death swept across Europe, eliminating up to half the labor force. Cities emptied, trade routes broke down, and yet the economic fallout created a massive wealth redistribution. When half the labor force vanished, physical labor and tangible goods became exponentially precious. Survivors with liquid silver and real assets suddenly held economic leverage they had never dreamed of. Land that once cost a fortune was acquired at fire sale discounts by those holding physical liquidity. If that sounds uncomfortably familiar, it should. During the 2020 pandemic, a modern version played out. Governments printed trillions of dollars, triggering asset price surges while ordinary workers slipped behind. Real estate and equity markets broke all-time highs, rewarding those who owned hard assets prior to the shock. The historic pattern is crystal clear. Major systemic crises reward those with liquid reserves and punish those without them. Now examine Renaissance Florence in the 1340s. The financial capital of Europe, home to colossal banking houses. The Bardi and Peruzzi banking dynasties lent astronomical sums to European monarchs, including Edward III of England. When King Edward defaulted on his war debts, the massive Florentine banking houses collapsed like dominoes. Depositors were ruined, credit froze, and citizens discovered that too big to fail is an ancient financial delusion. Reputation is not protection. And institutional size is not safety when counterparty defaults cascade through the system. That exact lesson repeated in 2008 with Lehman Brothers and in 2019 when Lebanese banks froze private accounts. Survival belongs exclusively to those who recognize that an institution's promises are valid only until the day they aren't. Now consider the American Civil War, a brutal conflict fought on battlefields and balance sheets alike. Both sides discovered that war on that scale required printing unbacked paper currency to survive. In the North, greenbacks diluted purchasing power, but in the South, Confederate graybacks hyperinflated to absolute zero. Prices rose thousands of percent, rendering soldier paychecks completely worthless before they could be spent. By 1865, Confederate money was dead paper. What mattered was physical land, food, gold, and tangible assets. Lifelong paper savings vanished, while opportunists with physical goods acquired real property at fire sale valuations. This is a chapter of American history rarely discussed, a complete domestic currency collapse on home soil. Protection came not from holding paper promises in a wallet, but from holding assets the state could not inflate away. Revolutionary France in the 1790s provides another masterclass in how political ideas destroy paper currencies. Revolutionaries issued paper assignats, backed in theory by the value of confiscated crown and church real estate. In practice, the government printed assignats with wild abandon to fund budget deficits and social programs. Each new paper issue diluted the last, triggering hyperinflation that destroyed wages and ignited city bread riots. Farmers refused to sell grain for paper, demanding silver coins or real physical goods before releasing food. The winners were not those holding patriotic paper, but those who owned food, gold bullion, or productive real estate. Promises, no matter how noble, are worth only what others will accept in real trade when trust fractures. Fast forward 2 centuries to the 1997 Asian financial crisis, a brutal demonstration of foreign debt traps. Thailand had borrowed heavily in US dollars, confident that its fixed currency peg would hold indefinitely. When the peg snapped, foreign debt liabilities doubled overnight while regional currencies collapsed in a chain reaction. Citizens saw their savings devalued and mortgages double while international institutions bought assets at fire sale prices. The lesson echoes through centuries. Borrowing in someone else's currency is an existential trap for nations and families alike. By now, the quantitative pattern analyzed by the FinRadius USA team is undeniably clear. Paper money fails, debt chains, nations, and survivors are never those who trusted the system blindly. The most chilling reality is that currency collapse isn't distant history. It is actively occurring today. Between 2019 and 2021 in Lebanon, commercial banks did what seems unthinkable. They locked their doors. Citizens woke up to frozen deposits, strict withdrawal limits, and a currency that lost over 90% of its value. Lifelong savings became pocket change overnight as middle-class families, doctors, and engineers were completely wiped out. The brutal lesson of Lebanon is one every investor must memorize. Money in a bank is not a treasure chest. It is an unsecured loan you made to an institution that can decide in a crisis not to pay you back. Those who survived held gold bullion off-grid, owned real estate, or maintained self-custodied non-custodial assets. If this sounds like a distant problem, recall 2023 when U.S. regional banks collapsed almost overnight when confidence failed. It reminded the world that the safety of too big to fail is a fairy tale we tell ourselves until the doors slam shut. So how do you construct a personal capital shield to survive when paper money fails? The FinRadius USA framework identifies 5 core pillars of permanent capital preservation. Pillar 1, physical precious metals stored off-grid in private non-custodial vaults. Gold anchors macro wealth across generational collapses, while silver provides local transactional liquidity. Pillar 2, productive arable land and secure real estate infrastructure. Real physical property capable of producing food or housing fulfills core biological needs that cannot be printed. Pillar 3, critical commodity exposure in energy and industrial resources. Energy is the master input. Society must purchase energy and raw materials regardless of currency regimes. Pillar 4, non-debasable technical skills and high-value professional expertise. They can devalue paper banknotes, but central banks cannot inflate away your engineering or medical skill stack. Pillar 5, uncensorable digital scarcity and self-custody protocols. Bitcoin provides a mathematically capped borderless reserve asset that operates on unalterable code parameters. Self-custody on hardware storage keys guarantees direct asset ownership independent of commercial banking networks. And here's the profound paradox that should awaken every investor. Collapse is both a tragedy and a wealth creation event. For the unprepared paper saver, monetary failure is total ruin. But for the prepared allocator, it is ultimate opportunity. It is the rare moment in history when tangible wealth is reallocated at a small fraction of its former cost. After the Black Death, surviving peasants acquired land and became wealthy landowners because real assets remained while labor was scarce. After 2008, allocators holding cash liquidity bought distressed real estate at historic discounts while paper holders suffered. Protection is not merely defensive survival. It is strategic positioning to acquire real assets when others are forced to liquidate. But real wealth isn't only what you own. It is also what you can produce when systems halt. The survivors throughout history weren't just those holding gold. They were those who could generate value when others could not. The builder who constructs shelters, the engineer who repairs machinery, the farmer who feeds communities, the merchant who routes trade. These are the individuals who don't just survive monetary collapses. They rise to lead the new economy. In every crisis, paper money loses meaning, but tangible production and human utility never do. People still need to eat, build, trade, and live. And those who meet those needs are never impoverished for long. That is the deeper level of capital protection championed here on the FinRadius USA. Not blind faith in central banks or government bailouts, but the combination of real assets, real skills, and macro awareness. Every financial crisis is a violent wealth transfer from the many who trusted paper to the few who prepared in hard assets. So the ultimate question is not whether paper systems collapse. History proves they always do. The question is whether you will be left holding paper promises or standing firm on tangible real value. History does not repeat verbatim, but if you ignore its objective laws, it will crush your balance sheet all the same. Let's walk through the tactical execution checklist from the research team at the FinRadius USA. Checkpoint 1. Cap liquid paper cash balances at a strict 90-day operational runway level. Checkpoint 2. Allocate a core percentage of capital into physical gold bullion and junk silver stored off-grid. Checkpoint 3. Establish self-custody over uncensorable digital assets using hardware storage keys. Checkpoint 4. Acquire ownership claims over arable agricultural land, commodities, or broad equity indexes. Checkpoint 5. Build non-debasable technical skills and foster high-trust localized trade networks. Stop measuring long-term financial success by the nominal paper balance in your banking application. Measure true success by your net ownership claims over tangible, yield-producing, undebasable assets. Paper currency units are transient tokens designed for short-term transaction velocity, not long-term wealth storage. Hard assets are permanent anchors that preserve your labor value across shifting monetary regimes. As central banks print more currency to service expanding debts, hard asset prices appreciate automatically. You convert central bank monetary debasement into automatic capital appreciation for your family's net worth. Meanwhile, passive paper cash holders continue to absorb the silent decay of the hidden inflation tax. Julian finishes configuring his automated 5-vector hard asset redirection system. His accumulated labor value is now completely insulated against paper currency debasement. The path to true financial sovereignty does not require predicting exact collapse dates or political headlines. It requires building an unyielding personal balance sheet that thrives regardless of paper money failure. Audit your liquid reserves tonight, enforce fixed lifestyle boundaries, and deploy capital into hard assets. Reclaim your labor value, build your asset shield, and step onto the path of true financial sovereignty. The mathematics of compound growth are completely objective. They reward those who take disciplined action. Math deletes institutional illusions and breaks the psychological hold of paper money dependency. Remember, paper money is a temporary claim. Hard assets are permanent capital. Every single dollar you convert into real assets today accelerates your personal economic independence. The central banking system relies on public ignorance to keep citizens holding debased paper currency. Break those chains by refusing to store your lifetime labor in unbacked fiat claims. Choose long-term sovereign freedom over short-term paper comfort every single time. The path to true wealth is quiet, intentional, and driven entirely by objective compounding mathematics. When you own physical hard assets, central bank debasement works in your favor through nominal price appreciation. You convert monetary expansion into automatic net worth creation for your family. Meanwhile, passive paper cash holders continue absorbing the silent decay of the hidden inflation tax. Step outside that extraction framework permanently by executing your personal insulation strategy tonight. Your future self will look back on this decision as the exact moment your financial sovereignty was secured. Take control of your labor, command your capital, and build your personal asset shield. We are building a global community of sovereign allocators who understand macroeconomic math. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, and share this video with fellow allocators. Check out our archive breakdowns linked on screen to master macro finance and monetary history. Every breakdown delivers quantitative, actionable frameworks to protect and compound your net worth. Never forget, math deletes institutional illusions, and discipline creates permanent sovereignty. Execute your plan, protect your liquid runway, and stay insulated against economic shocks. The journey to complete financial independence starts by decoupling from unbacked paper currency. Anchor your capital in physical reality, let compound growth take over, and claim control over your life. This is the FinRadius USA, your premier resource for capital preservation and sovereign strategy. We will continue decoding macro system mechanics so you can build unyielding family wealth. Audit your bank account tonight. Calculate your target hard asset baseline and begin execution immediately. Thank you for your time, your focus, and your commitment to financial sovereignty. Stay disciplined, stay insulated, and trust the mathematics of compound growth. We will see you in the next decoding breakdown.